Morning guys, so a new day, a new job. Today, kitchen rip out. It's a small little galley kitchen, as you can see behind me. Nothing to write home about. So, as I was saying, full rip out, and then we've got to start looking about making good the walls. We're going to remove the tiles, we just do you a pan and you can see. So we've got all these little tiles to come off, we've got to make good all the walls. So first thing we do is we pull the units out, base units out, give us a nice clear space to work. Then we whip off all these tiles, potentially go off and get some bonding, make good the walls, whatever we need to make good, depending on how badly these come off. I think these are all pretty much solid brick, yeah, they're all brick walls. So they should come off with minimal damage if they're on brick, and then we scrape off the excess and then we can start looking at getting some units fitted. Hopefully we'll have the delivery here at some point today. That'd be good, and then we can get stuck in and start getting some units back in. But yeah, stay tuned guys for more videos and we'll see you shortly.
So this is my branch. These are the guys I use. This is the Hemel Hempstead branch of Howdens. This is where they pick and they sort all of the necessary components for each kitchen. As you can see, they have to go through, scan every individual component, load the van up and get it ready to get it over to us. Now, I love this branch. The guys here are really helpful. The designers are great. They're always happy to help. So if you are in the market for getting a kitchen and you're in the Hertfordshire area, this is the branch I recommend. Yes, they are sponsoring this video, but I'd only ask them to sponsor it if it wasn't true.
Okay, so we've had a delivery. And here we go. A lot of Howdens units. It's cluttering up this house. It's all around here. So once we get the rip out done, we can start throwing these in. So we're going to carry on ripping out. We hadn't quite finished yet, and then we'll start fitting some of these units in. See you in a bit.
And here we are, ripping it all out. Now, believe it or not, this whole process from start to finish only took us about 2.5 to 3 hours from start to finish. Just working our way through, carefully taking everything down, trying to avoid any problems. There were some under cabinet lights we had to disconnect, and that's where we started finding the electrical issues. Ricky's flying through, ripping all the tiles off the walls, and again this is where we uncover the dodgy electrics in the sockets that we will discuss or describe to you shortly. But yeah, this is just a matter of just getting in and getting on with it. Get the gas hob out, get everything disconnected nice and clean as we go, get the plumbing disconnected, get this sink out. Now, the plumbing here isn't brilliant either, but I will describe that to you shortly.
Okay, got all the wall units down and got the sink out, but we are uncovering some really shoddy electrical work here, guys. It's definitely not good. Let me just give you an example. Prime example is here. As you can see, just cable junction boxes. They've not even continued the ring main. It goes across to that socket. I don't know, something's coming down there as well. So they've that's the ring main, but they've turned it into a spurred it into there, gone down there. It looks like they've gone down, around, done some dodgy wiring down there, potentially come up to that socket. So I'm gonna have to do some major rewires, I think. And then in here, this is the under cabinet lighting. This is their idea of under cabinet lighting. As you can see, got some Wagos thrown in, chocky blocks, more chocky blocks, no protection on them, no nothing. And then in there, more chocky blocks, no earth sleeving on half of it. This is on a lighting circuit, so that's all got to be sorted out. This was the extractor fan, which is not even the right type of cable. That's 1.5mm cable, should be 2.5. So that's not right. That's in here, so this has all got to be readdressed. So we've got to unwire all of this, take that out. We'll pop the ovens out first, and then we'll figure it out. But yeah, this is going to be quite a bit of rewiring to do in here. But as you can see now, all the tiles are now off the wall. And as I said, look again here. They've moved this socket over. It looks like they've just taped and bodged it. Gone into that one, moved it over enough to get it out of. Even that's still in zone, I think, from the hob. But I don't think there's a lot of choice there, really. So that's going to have to be readdressed, and I'm thinking it's probably going from there over to that socket in there, then up and round back to here. The oven circuit's obviously on a separate circuit, we hope. Oh dear, and then we've got all this mess of plumbing to deal with as well. So we've got a water meter, 2 stop taps, a cacophony of isolators and taps, and we've got a washing machine outlet there, and then there around the corner there's another one hidden behind the unit for the dishwasher. So I think there's going to be a considerable amount of re-piping as well. I've got to put a stop cap, I've got to put a push fit cap on top of that pipe, mustn't forget that, otherwise I'll have no water. The hot has got its own isolator, but the cold didn't. So I'm going to have to, I reckon I'm going to end up re-piping all of this to put the stop tap, will stay roughly where it is, but be a hole cut for it. And then we'll bring that pipe in, reconnect the water meter inside the new cabinet, potentially. Obviously this is all spitballing at the minute, because until I get the plans out and start looking at it, we need to figure out the exact layout of where all the units are going. So for now I'm just going to concentrate on getting the rest of this ripped out. But yeah, this is the joys of kitchen fitting. You're forever uncovering one thing after another, but it's just standard stuff. Anyway, let's get back into it. Okay, fully ripped out now, so everything is now exposed and we can see what we're working with. Now unfortunately the electrics in here were not good. I've got them now all safe, which is the main thing. So from where they were here, obviously it went across there, then we had tails going down there all the way over to here, which then powered down the floor heating and the fridge, and these are all just on spurs, so not ideal. So that's now back on a ring main, that one's on the ring main, and then this one went through that box to a double socket on a spur. It went into this cabinet and did the ignition for the hob and the extractor fan. So potentially, I need to speak to the client, because I knew there was going to be some minor electrics, but when I say minor, I mean take a faceplate off, remove one from inside a cupboard and put it back in the cupboard. Basically this is a complete rewire. To put it how it needs to be, it's a rewire pretty much. So to get it so that it all stays on the ring main and everything is going to be safe, because there's no separate socket, no separate circuit for the kitchen. So that means the whole downstairs, the living room and everything is all on one circuit. So if you have umpteen spurs feeding umpteen different appliances, eventually you're going to have some sort of issue where you're going to keep tripping your breaker, because you're drawing more power and it's not a continuous circuit, you know. So ideally this needs to be worked so that the ring main is a continuous circuit on the entire ground floor. So what we're potentially going to have to happen, from this one we will have to run it from here into the cupboard, which will then feed the ignition and the hob, and then come back and then relink to one of these. So one of these wires will go to the hob and then to the extractor fan, and then come back and then link back to the other cable that's in that one, which will then link to this one, and then that one then comes over the ceiling and then links to this one. So what we're going to need to do, if he wants to keep it there, that's fine. We could come down from there, run a cable off one of these, so break them, separate them, split them, whatever you want to call it, come down, have one for the dishwasher, come down, go into there to feed the underfloor heating, assuming he still wants it, back into the cupboard to feed the fridge, out of the cupboard into that socket, then back down again, all the way back to here and relink to the other cable. That will then put this entire kitchen on a ring main. So not ideal. It's basically rewiring the whole kitchen, which is not a major issue because we've got units going in, so we can run most of the cable surface underneath the units, just not nice and tidy, but it's going to be quite a lot of extra cable in and a considerable amount of work to get that done. But it's doable, and we have got the time. We're here a day early, so it's not like we're going to run out of time on the job. But obviously I do need to speak to the client about it. And then we've got all this stuff down here to work out. So with the plumbing, we've then got to sort all this out, because for some reason they've got 2 inlets. So we will rework the waste, which is not a major issue, and just have one for the dishwasher, which is going back roughly where it is, and then run a new one in for the sink. Now the issue we have got is with all this pipe work, because we don't have a clue where these 2 in the floor are going. Now one of them is going to be hot, which is that one there, I believe. Oops, sorry. So that one is your hot, so that one that's coming down here. This one here is basically your hot pipe, so that's coming down, and for some reason they've gone like that and swept it round and then brought it up and out over here. And then if you've got the cold, which is your mains, which comes in, actually that might even be it there. So it looks like this is the mains pipe coming in, which is there, coming out of the floor on that old pipe there. So that's the mains pipe. So we've got another isolator there, which isn't, so we've got loads of different isolators for some reason. So it's coming around that wall, it's coming up here, it's coming in around the back here. Where is it coming? So it's coming, yeah, so it's that one there. So it's coming up to this tap, round into the water meter, out of the water meter, then back. And then it's feeding the sink, and then they've teed off of all this concoction. And then that's going back down, so I'm assuming that's feeding some sort of pipe work in another room. So that'll all have to be reconnected at low level. So yeah, we've got some fun and games going on. I'm not quite sure why they've made it so complicated, because they could have literally run the mains straight into this on a tee, just teed that straight in, so that's all done and hardwired, and then we can bring the mains type to here, and then from there we can bring it into the cupboard, put our water meter on inside the cupboard, and then reconnect everything. So it's going to be quite a lot of plumbing as well. So we got our work cut out for us. So it's nearly 20 to 11. I don't have half the materials I'm going to need to actually do the job. Ricky's just loading the van up with all the rubbish. So I'm thinking we're going to have to do a rubbish run, finish cleaning these walls off, and then I need to have a chat with the client about the electrics. So I don't want him to lose sockets. I want to make sure everything is as he needs it. But anyway, that's about it for the moment. I'll give you another update shortly. See you in a bit, guys. Okay, so spoken to the client. He's more than understands about the electrics. He said he's not surprised. These old houses in St Albans are synonymous with issues, because I've done plenty of them. They're old houses and there's always issues, but the wiring in here was so dangerous. But we've now got it safe and it's now usable, and we are going to do a minor rewire, nothing too major. It's going to go back pretty much as it was, but it's going to go on a ring main. We've had my gas engineer in, and he's now solder capped the gas ready for the second install. So as you can see there, it's nicely capped off. The gas pipe is literally loose, so we are going to have to do something proper with that and try and actually clip it to the wall or something. The only problem we do have is potentially where the oven is, because the oven's going to go in that same cabinet as it was originally, which could cause us an issue if that is too far out, but we'll have to just figure it out. Hopefully we can maybe do some straps or something, some nail clips screwed to the wall just to hold it tight to the wall. I think that might be the only option there. But yeah, other than that, we are pretty much done. Ricky's just finishing off loading the van with what he can get in, and then we'll have to go off, do a dump run or skip run to my house, which hopefully will be there by the time we get there. But yeah, it's looking like we're getting somewhere. So tomorrow will be electrics, pipe work, making good the walls after done the electrics, just silly little bits and pieces really, and then start throwing some units around hopefully. But yeah, all the walls are now scraped off. There's no more tile adhesive anywhere, so it's just a matter of now just cracking on now. But yeah, we are a day early on this job. We were supposed to start this tomorrow, but I had a job that had some complications on, and unfortunately we had to come and do it a day early. But it's not the end of the world. Now this series of videos is going to be sponsored by my local Howdens branch in Hemel Hempstead. So a big shout out to the guys in Hemel Hempstead at Howdens. They're sponsoring a few of these videos by donating some stuff for our tool giveaway, which is why we haven't done the tool giveaway yet, even though we've hit the 4K. So there's going to be some meet and greets with the staff there. We're going to do a walk around of the new showroom, which has all now just been completely revamped. Have a chat with the manager, maybe one of the designers. We haven't ironed it all out yet, but it will be this week. So stay tuned for that, guys. Hopefully, going to pop in and see them today on my way home to grab a printout of the plans, because I can do an A4 printout, but they can do me a bigger sheet. And the bigger sheets are just, with my eyesight, it's easier to see what's involved. But anyway, guys, stay tuned. We're going to do a dump run, and then hopefully we might have some more content. If not, we will see you tomorrow. See you in a bit.
So guys, everything is done. We're all completely in the skip. The van's unloaded. We've dropped Ricky off, and this is going to be it for today. As you can see, all the rubbish completely unloaded into a brand new skip. Now I have a skip on my drive 24/7, as some of you may know. So this is, to me, I just charge a minimal rubbish removal per job. It helps cover the cost of a skip, and that way then I can keep the cost down to my client. But that's it from us, guys, from today. So tomorrow we'll be back there, sort the electrics out, sort the plumbing out, and start installing, I suppose. We'll just see how things pan out today during the day, and hopefully get a fair bit done. So don't forget, guys, like, share, follow, hit that notification icon, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you bright and early in the morning in St Albans. Bye bye.